Hello there friends, CS News Lives here. Hope you're all fine. In today's video, some NA teams were founded by a scammer. A SnapTap alternative has been found. Shocking results of IEM Cologne. And a bunch of other exciting news from the world of CS2. So without further ado, let's get straight to it. And we shall kick off today's video with more news about the second major of the year. Perfect World has announced that by the 7th of September, teams must lock in their main 5-player roster. And by the 22nd of September, they also need to announce their 6th player as a backup plan in case of emergency. So now all we can do is wait for the end of September. Maybe Cloud9 will finally announce that Perfecto is going to join as their 6th player. And also I wonder if teams like G2, NaVi or Faze'S will actually announce a backup player. If they do, I bet they'll just register their coach instead of hunting for a brand new player. And what's even more interesting is that the closed qualifiers for the European RMR will end on the 23rd of August, meaning the qualified teams still have some time for roster changes. I don't know, this whole story sounds like the Chinese tournament operator is just giving teams a chance if they won't get visas. That sounds bad between the lines, doesn't it? Staying on the topic of the RMR and Major, all the match scenarios have once again been posted on majors.im. Anyone can go and see what lies ahead for their favorite team in the closed qualifiers in Europe and the Americas. But keep in mind that the scenarios can be changed. Things can shuffle multiple times. You can even adjust the outcome of any match on the website. It's also important to know that this website isn't a 100% reliable source, it's just a possible model that randomly generates stuff. But, well, anyways, let's move on. While IEM Cologne is in full swing, teams have also been playing in the open qualifiers for IEM Rio, and honestly, the results so far have been surprising, to say the least. OG and Fnatic managed to qualify for the closed stage, but Cloud9 got knocked out in the very first match. They'll get another shot soon with the second qualifier coming up, but if they mess up again, I can't even imagine what's going to happen at the RMR, where the competition is even tougher. It looks really shaky for Cloud9 at the moment, and there's a whole real chance we might see more roster changes, not just a Perfecto comeback, but a complete overhaul again. Now let's talk about the latest game-breaking trick. This time it's a simple config from the legendary Aquaris. And just like the SnapTap thing, it allows players to pull off perfect strafes and stop instantly, eliminating movement inaccuracy. This config could be a game changer for beginner players or anyone trying to climb the ranks or improve on Faceit. Yeah, right, but well, this time it didn't last long. Both Faceit and Valve were quick to respond. Faceit immediately banned the config from their platform and announced that they'll be issuing bans to anyone caught using it. Meanwhile, Valve are just being Valve. They sent a GIF featuring the character from The Office, which captioned my honest reaction when Aquaris shares another game-breaking config on stream. Honestly, it's unclear if this means that they will ban the config soon, or they will maybe probably fix it, or if it's just some light trolling from Valve. But it's still pretty funny that they just sent the GIF directly to Aquaris. Loba is unhappy again. Who would have guessed? Usually when new bins or bugs are discovered, Loba is the first player to say something, and mostly it's bad. But this time the main CS2 critic decided to speak out about the balance on Faceit. He says that many players at 10th level are playing like they're at 4th level, and it's all because of the new awful ELO system. Loba claims that Faceit is currently at its lowest point, but people still play it because there's no other platform with a good anti-cheat ranking system and servers. And you know what, honestly, he does have a point. Due to the new ELO system, the gap between pros and regular players is almost disappearing, making it very hard for skilled players to face much weaker opponents. While there's a separate matchmaking system for this, the queue times are just way too long. In our last video we mentioned that Maui Snake called ZywOo selfish, and it seems like the player himself kinda confirmed it. In a recent interview, ZywOo said that after s1mple's decline, he felt like he was left alone with no real competition. He genuinely didn't know what to do since there weren't any players to challenge him. But now he says, with talents like m0NESY and Donk on the rise, things have become much more interesting. These FaZe players bring new challenges, push him to stay motivated and help him focus. ZywOo is now happy that he's no longer the automatic best. He actually has to compete with these young talents for the title. Yeah, and honestly, this does sound a bit self-centered, but at the same time, ZywOo isn't wrong. He's a dominant player. And yeah, with guys like m0NESY or Donk in the scene, it's no longer that easy for him to win the MVPs and HLTV #1s. Can't say anything about the titles though. And yeah, since we're talking about Vitality, Apex, the captain, shared some interesting thoughts. He revealed under what conditions he would retire. So the Frenchman says that his dream is to win IEM Katowice, IEM Cologne and one more major before hanging up his mouse and keyboard. And right now the goal seems pretty achievable. The team went straight to the semifinals of IEM Cologne and is considered one of the favorites alongside NaVi. Vitality players are pretty good on stats, and the team is overall ranked top 3 on HLTV. But still, all this talk about retiring might be just debate. If Apex were to live, it's unclear who would step up as Vitality's new captain. It's like it's always been about Apex. But, well guys, do you remember how Apex vowed to shave his head if they win a major? So they did, but the Frenchman just forgot about his words. So who knows, maybe this retirement talk is just another bluff. Snax decided to explain why G2 lost to SAW. The captain himself admitted that he told the players right away that the first game is just a warm-up and there's no need to go all out. And Snax also joked about his own underwhelming performance against SAW. He said that he's not young anymore and all these new tricks like snap tap up and up, he needed some time to warm up. Yeah, and then he just completes a trade-up contract in CS2 right during the warm-up. Anyways, you could agree that the first game didn't decide much, but this loss almost cost G2 a spot in the playoffs. They could have dropped the tournament in last place. So it all seems like Snax might be just using this as an excuse for underestimating their opponents. Speaking of top teams, Thorin as usual decided to share his brilliant analysis. And you know what? It feels like this time he's actually spot on. He says that many people think that there weren't any eras since Astralis, but that's not really true. First, there was a micro era for Liquid, though it lasted only a couple of months. And since Liquid didn't win a major, no one really remembers it. Then we had NaVi era in 2021 and Faze'S clan era in 2022. And in CS2 we could have had an era of FaZe clan, but they fell short by not winning the Blast World Finals and the major in Copenhagen. Do you agree with Thorin, guys? Write your thoughts in the comments below. And guys, right now let's talk about one of the most discussed topics in CS. It's a full-fledged scandal involving money laundering and match fixing. To understand the situation and give the context, let's take a quick look back at what happened during IEM Dallas. This player, going by the nickname NBG12, has been trying to steal SSDs from several pro players, including Nico and Stewie2K. He was caught though, the drives were recovered and he was fined. But it turns out that this was just a small piece of what this guy was involved in. According to a source on Twitter, the player was stealing data from PayPal accounts and siphoning money. He then used the money to buy gold, which he sold for cash that he used to sponsor players from the current Elevate roster. The players though knew about the scheme and blackmailed NBG12 to continue to fund them. So basically this guy covered all the expenses for flights, hotels, tournament trips, and even paid for certain services that the other players would request, if you know what I mean. Some dirty business. After his PayPal account got banned, he started looking for new ways to make money. Last year, for example, he stole a monitor from a tournament and he planned to do the same at IEM Dallas, but failed. And listen to this, additionally, NBG threatened people who knew the truth about his activities with a real Glock, which he reportedly brought to tournaments multiple times. Meanwhile, Elevate players were helping each other to destroy any evidence related to this situation. And now listen to this, it's just too dumb to be a lie. Elevate players Dare and Shane recently locked NBG in a closet and blew a hairdryer in his face to make him pass out. Are they like stupid or what? And yeah, despite all the gifts and money they received, they still tormented their sponsor. This story also involves Elige, who got players banned for racist comments in Discord, yet they continued to mock women's esports and discuss inappropriate topics involving minors. Dare even continued to send such stuff in Faceit chats, and sources say similar images are stored on his phone and computer. Meanwhile, a player named Day was kicked from the team simply because he refused to throw matches. In response to all these accusations, NBG12 simply stated that he has never been abused in his life, and none of these claims can be proven. So essentially, he didn't deny what he's been accused of, which only makes him look more guilty. We think there's definitely some truth to the accusations, even though nothing has been officially proven yet. Guys, this sounds just crazy. What do you think? I mean, I know that in the NA scene things can be hard, but not like that, right? Share your thoughts in the comments below, we just have to discuss it. And now let's get to the most exciting part, the playoff stage of the biggest summer tournament. It couldn't have started any better. First things first, an incredibly stunning opening ceremony. The CS legend Get Right brought out the trophy, and as he mentioned himself, next time he wants to do it together with Pasha Biceps. After that, the real Counter-Strike celebration began. The whole arena was buzzing with anticipation for the epic showdown between FaZe and Saw. Apex even promised to take down FaZe once again and make it to the grand finals, but for Vitality to face Kerrigan's squad again, FaZe needed to get past the Portuguese team first. So let's dive straight into the match. We had Inferno, Anubis and Nuke as the decider. The first map was FaZe's pick, and they started on T side. The pistol round kicked off with an incredible 1v3 attempt from Erosdoc. FaZe managed to win the second round, but then dropped a series of 4, with the last one being sealed by a brilliant quadro kill from Mutiris. FaZe fought back with their signature force buy, rushing B, but immediately lost the next round in the apartments and mid. This disastrous performance left FaZe trailing 4-8 on their stronger side. Next came the pistol round, where Saw crushed Kerrigan and his team at A. But in the full buy round, the Portuguese team got a bit disorganized and pushed too late, handing the round to FaZe, who surely capitalized on the mistake and secured another one right after. But then Mutiris again pulled off an incredible play, pushing his team to map point. And then the Portuguese followed it up by closing out the final round, securing the win on FaZe's map pick. Next was Anubis, Saw's pick. They started on the weaker side, and things looked pretty grim for them as a fired up FaZe clan seemed ready to destroy after losing their first map. And that's exactly what happened in the first half. Saw only managed to grab 3 rounds. But let's not forget that even from such a scoreline, a comeback is still possible, especially on Anubis, on the stronger side. FaZe, however, weren't ready to let that happen. They won both the pistol and follow-up rounds, but then lost nearly 7 in a row. Despite that, their earlier lead allowed them to secure the map and push the series to the decider. On Nuke, Saw started on the stronger side and racked up rounds early on. FaZe seemed to wake up and start responding, but then things took a turn. FaZe looked shaky, lost. You could have seen the nerves setting in. Brokey was shouting at his own teammates, and Robs fumbled his controls. It felt like FaZe were starting to believe they might actually lose. As a result, FaZe's performance left them trailing 5-7 in the first half, and then Mutiris again delivered a crushing blow with a 1v4 clutch.
It's the wall. They have to scrap for the win here. Captain Mutiris, can he do it? 2 kills connect, but they know where he is now. It's not a guessing game, it's an aimer's game. Mutiris, 31 years old, looks to leave his impression in the lag, says one more! Oh!
Riding that momentum, the Portuguese team played like Cristiano Ronaldo on the attack, making minimal mistakes and pushing to map point. FaZe, though, didn't give up and forced overtimes, and we know how good FaZe clan could be in the OTs. But it wasn't enough. They only won a single round in overtimes and were eliminated from the tournament. You know what's really fascinating about this fact? Something pretty similar happened back in 2022 when Movistar Riders had their best IEM Cologne run, but FaZe knocked them out in the quarterfinals. But this time, the Portuguese got their revenge and stopped FaZe from advancing. Aside from Sol's outstanding play, the match was also memorable for a fan who managed to unbox a knife from a case right in the middle of the match. Next up was an equally anticipated match between MOUZ and G2, or at least it was supposed to be so. The first map was Dust 2, picked by the Samurai. It seemed like they took a page out of Vitality's playbook, aiming to crush MOUZ on Dust 2, but MOUZ were ready for it. At first, G2 were completely dominant on the stronger side, winning round after round, but everything changed when Yimpat clutched a 1v2, leading MOUZ to take 3 more rounds. With the score at 7-5, G2 already saw themselves as winners, but they were clearly unprepared for the aggressive attacks from MOUZ. G2 managed to secure only 2 rounds on defense on their own map pick. Despite all of m0NESY's efforts, the team couldn't find a way to respond, and Nico, once hailed as the tournament's best player, was just stuck at the bottom of the scoreboard. He was simply unable to perform. Next came Mirage, MOUZ's pick, and here things started well for G2. They took the pistol round and the follow-up. But then everything just fell apart. m0NESY almost smashed his monitor, though he seemed to remember just in time that it's not really a good idea. G2 did put up some resistance, with Snax nearly solo winning a critical 3v5, bringing the Samurai back into the game. But MOUZ quickly responded with a forced buy. The first half was a real roller coaster, ending 7-5 in favor of MOUZ. After the side switch, G2 won 3 rounds in a row. They took the lead and had a chance to close it out, but they just couldn't. They didn't win a single round after that. MOUZ confidently took 6 straight. They just sent G2 packing, advancing to meet NaVi. Sticking with the CS topic, let's talk about some semi-professional CS action. s1mple and Kenny played a show match with the Chinese fans. Kenny's team ended up winning, but the most interesting part is that the MVP of the match was a local Chinese player. s1mple managed to get 20 frags and finished as the top player of his team, although it wasn't enough. What's also interesting is that after the match, a Chinese interviewer approached s1mple and asked when he plans to return to the pro scene, to which Alexander philosophically responded that he wants to bring positive emotions only to CS fans and enthusiasts, and that's all. And after the main match, there was an arm wrestling session where s1mple won most of the matches. Yeah, you heard that right, arm wrestling. Then the 2 legendary snipers played an op-aim duel where s1mple won both games, 24-20 in the first map and 24-17 in the second. So I guess now we really know who the GOAT is. And now let's move to the semifinals of IEM Cologne. First we had Vitality versus SAW. Could the Portuguese underdogs pull off another upset? Or would their fairy tale run end here? Let's dive into the match. The first map was Nuke, SAW's pick. After yesterday's win against FaZe, the Portuguese seemed confident that they could challenge the French on Nuke too, but things didn't go quite as planned. Initially, SAW started strong. Story got 2 headshots with the Glock and the pistol round, forcing Vitality to save, and in the third round, uJerks secured 4 kills. With the score 3-0, Vitality put themselves together and took the 3-round streak. Then Roman answered back with a triple kill, giving his team a slight lead. But then at 5-3, SAW decided to push into a stacked side and lost an eco round to a saved AWP and AK. This led to 5-7 for SAW at the end of the first half. And in the second half, SAW were practically absent on the map. They could take only 1 round on CT, while Apex secured an ace. Next was Dust 2, Vitality's pick, and also one of their strongest maps. And honestly, it's almost sad to describe what happened next. Vitality just dominated, allowing SAW to take only 2 rounds in the first half, one of which won the pistol round. And it was 10-2 before the side switch. Then SAW tried to make a comeback, taking 3 in a row, but that was it. All they could manage. Vitality were just too strong. So the beautiful story of the Portuguese underdogs ends here, while Monsieur ZywOo and Vitality move on to the finals. The second semifinal featured a showdown between NaVi and MOUZ. The first map was Inferno, MOUZ's pick. As Blade and Alexibi admitted, this map was something that surprised them, and NaVi were caught off guard, but let's see how it played out. And the first half made it clear that the plan didn't work. NaVi just completely shut down MOUZ, allowing them to grab only 3 rounds on their T side. Things got worse when NaVi secured the second pistol, but just as badly as MOUZ struggled at T side, they were kinda well prepared on CT side, and tried to pull off a comeback. However, NaVi eventually pushed it to the map point, leaving MOUZ with no room for mistakes. MOUZ held on and forced overtimes, but then they just fell apart again, showing the same struggles on T side and moving on to NaVi's map pick. So it was Mirage, a signature pick for NaVi. And surprisingly, it started pretty bad for them. MOUZ just dominated starting from the pistol round. But at 4-0, JL pulled a magnificent clutch. 1v3 with just 1 HP. He's just got skills. Unfortunately though, NaVi managed to win rounds only through clutches or when MOUZ made mistakes, while MOUZ controlled most of other rounds, leading to 8-4 at the halftime. But once sides switched, NaVi reminded everyone why they own Mirage. They kicked off with 3 in a row, MOUZ answered with 2, but then NaVi took an eco thanks to Bit's insane aim and teamwork as well. And from there, Alexibi secured a crucial clutch, helping NaVi gain momentum.
Seconds, the pressure mounting! Oh, he gets the headshot! Good, important trade from Brolan! And only Alexi, with those 4 frags, now 5, has it in the palm of his hand. It's Finland versus Sweden, a little chip damage.
Brolan's going to go back for the bomb. He doesn't have it. He's going to pick this up. 10 seconds. We'll have to go for the plant.
He's repositioned as well. Will Brolan consider Khan? Now spotted. Brolan punching in the coast. So much at stake in the one-on-one. A nade. Destined for damage. Oh, and Alexi! He may have...
So in the end, they just closed out the map and sent MOUZ packing. NaVi secured their spot in the grand finals against Vitality. And that's all for today, friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button and leave your comments below. And to stay updated with the latest news in the world of CS2, make sure to follow our Twitter account. I'm not saying goodbye for a long time. See you soon.